Hey, what's up? It's Joey G. What's going on? Another night of Monday Night Raw last night. I'll tell you, it gets no rougher. I'll tell you, it's very rough around the edges. WWE right now, it's just trying not to smoke as much on screen. Never mind all that. It last night was, the Bullet Club. I love the Bullet Club. Big fan of the Bullet Club. Quick shout out. They're great, the Bullet Club. I wouldn't say great, they're great. It's Luke Gallows. You all remember him as Festus, when the bell used to ring and used to go crazy, with that other dude. I forget his name. If I saw him, I would remember it. But it was just, I don't know where they're going with this Raw and the heels and the faces. And the problem with WWE today, and this is my last time talking about the problems with WWE. On these shows, this is the last time. I'm just going to do a quick, thing of the people they have running WWE. The people that are running WWE right now are the stooges that used to run WCW. And it's not just Terry Taylor. You got John Laurinaitis in there. You know what I mean? That guy used to be the head guy, agent in WCW. That was Eric Bischoff's butt buddy during the Nitro days. Now there's a squirrel on my thing out there, whatever. I feel like if I had a ball right here, I'd throw it at it. But you have him. You have Arn Anderson. Like Bret Hart said. And I'm a big Bret Hart fan. He's my favorite wrestler. You know what I mean? But you should have had guys like Bret back there. I don't know how Bret would, if they ever give Bret that job. But that'd be great if Bret was an agent back there. You guys got Arn Anderson. He never drew any money. Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko, great wrestler, but did he ever draw any money? No. He's never no big star, and he's telling these big stars what to do. Terry Taylor. It's the Red Rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Come on. And then when it seems anymore, when a heel gets cheered, they turn him face. It's unbelievable. I know I've said it before, the New Day are great heels. Now what are they going to do? It looks like in this tag team tournament, it's come down to the number one contenders ship, and they're having it in a Payback. Why wouldn't they have that on Raw in the title match at Payback? See, WWE is just so retarded. But I'm a diehard fan, and Impact really sucks. So, I can never be a dedicated. Even when TNA was half great, half not great, half good. What do you call it? I couldn't 08, 09, 07. From 06 to 09, TNA was pretty good. Once Hogan and Bischoff got there, after a month there, they just killed it. That 10-10-10 bullshit was horrible. But anyway, WWE, it's just, you get the New Day were great heels. They were, you know what I mean? Bray Wyatt, this might be a blessing in disguise. If anybody heard Roman Reigns' reaction last night, I know they were in the UK, but I think a lot of that when he was out there with AJ, before the Bullet Club, before Anderson and Gallows jumped him, I really think that a lot of that wasn't scripted at the end. He was that was the loudest I've heard him booed since I was at the Royal Rumble in 2015 when he won. When it was like a bait and switch. It was like him and The Rock. It'd be like half cheered, half booed because they'd be cheering The Rock, but they'd be booing Roman. You know what I mean? He was just booed out of that O2 arena last night and O2 Wembley, whatever they call it, in London, England. Also, rumors about WrestleMania 34 or 35 being in England. I guess the new Wembley Stadium. Anyway, he got booed out. Rain. It just rained. Talk about rain. It rained with boos. And these stupid signs that they come up with, like little kids like, I'll cry, it better rain up in here. And I wanted the stupid signs. The only thing that he has cool is saying, and he says it again. The first thing he says when he came out, and this is not cool. He says, I'm not the guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm the guy. Or it's the other way around. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. He says I'm not a good guy first, to let everyone know. But then he says, I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. It's played. It was played the second time after he said it on SmackDown. It was played a few weeks ago. But, WWE is, I think what they're building up here is for a heel turn for him. I don't know. They might swerve us, and maybe they'll turn AJ heel. They got the Bullet Club in there now, but if you remember last night when AJ was doing that interview and the Bullet Club came in and Luke Gallows said something like, sorry about that thing last time, they're talking about they turned on AJ in Japan. And that's what they were talking about. But they are, real life friends with AJ Styles. So I don't know how it's going to work out. I was thinking, Vince McMahon is so driven and cock riding on Roman Reigns. I don't know if he's going to turn Roman heel, but I mean, and I heard this one from other people. There was a rumor going around that they, to get the Bullet Club, they're already over. I mean, they were over before they even got to WWA. You know what I mean? Finn Balor, I mean, he's not up yet, but, you put him with you put the Bullet Club and Finn Balor with Roman to make that Roman's empire. You know what I mean? And put Ambrose in there, too. You might as well. Or, if you don't want to put the Bullet Club with them, you know what I mean? You put the Usos, and you put Dean Ambrose, and it's Roman's empire. I mean, because the Usos nobody likes the Usos. I mean, they're good in the ring, they can work, but, I mean, come on. I would just say you put, and if you want to just make it, hey, Roman, get him with Eva Marie, get him with, bring Mickie James back, bring a diva back, to, get him some heat. And if they do start cheering Roman, let Roman do something drastic, like to where the fans don't like him, like have him go outside and beat up a kid's father. With the kid, I know, and this isn't drastic because stuff like this has been done when Brock Lesnar beat up Zach Allen and threw him down the steps and was beating the shit out of him right in front of his mom. Y'all remember that on SmackDown. You know what I mean? I know you diehard wrestling fans, people like me in their 30s, remember that. You know what I mean? In 2003. I mean, you get Roman out there, and so the fans, you get them to beat up a kid's dad and right in front of the kid, as a stick, you know what I mean? And, behind the stage, you're giving the dad and his kid, free passes and to meet all the wrestlers. But, do it like that to make Roman a believable heel. The best heel on the friggin' show is The Miz. And I am a Miz fan. I mean, I fell off a little while. He fell off, and I fell off with him because his WWE title reign I thought was great. I mean, that's all remember. WrestleMania 27, I know The Rock helped, but he beat John Cena. You know what I mean? So, The Miz is a great heel. Kevin Owens is a great heel. You know what I mean? And I love Kevin Owens, one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE now. Only thing I fear is that the WWE turns Kevin Owens' face because he gets cheered. He gets a pop. I mean, last night in the show, to get off this is still subject. The biggest pop on the show last night was Shane McMahon. The whole crowd, yes, yes, yes. I mean, it's just like Daniel Bryan. It was like when The Rock came back. I mean, it was a pop. I mean, and talk about pops. When Seth Rollins comes back, he's going to get that pop. Just like Triple H got in 2002. Book it. But it's just like you get like the New Day and all. I mean, but Bray going face could be a good thing. But the main thing right now is that the main event picture with Roman Reigns, and you're getting all these matches. You got Jericho and Ambrose basically, fighting over a friggin' segment, the highlight, and that was weird. They have the Ambrose Asylum, and then they have Miz TV. It just goes to show you that we don't need 3 hours, especially of Michael Cole, JBL, and Byron Saxton. I mean, why is the King and I know Ronaldo's doing interviews now on Raw. Ronaldo's great. I mean, Cole's. I mean, I've got used to Cole. He's grown on me since. I mean, him and Taz were the A team and. 2002, 2003, 2004. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, they were the A-team of commentary. But I'm saying I don't think JBL's that great. You know what I mean? All right, you keep Ronaldo on SmackDown, but I would put JBL with Ronaldo on SmackDown. Bring the King. Bring the heel King is great. Bring him back to Raw. And Brian Saxton's doesn't. I mean, he's all right, but I mean, I don't know why he's on both shows. I really don't. I mean, if anybody, the King should be on both shows. I mean, I don't know why Brian Saxton's on both shows. Like, yeah, take that. Like, he's so corny. But just to let people know what I'm going to be getting into on the shows, I'm a big history buff. Greatest factions of all time. Be doing a show coming up comparing the DX and the NWO. Bunch of indie cards, got to want to talk about. WWE is my main thing. I want to change WWE. I want to know you fans think. You know what I mean? My hotline's coming out soon. You know what I mean? I'm getting up there. But just Roman Reigns, his whole stigma, his they just gotta, and I think a payback they will. I just had this weird gut feeling that they're gonna turn AJ Styles to a heel, which wouldn't be bad because AJ, if you remember in TNA, played a great heel. He played I thought when he stuck the fork in Tommy Dreamer's eye. I mean. I think when Ric Flair was his manager, and Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all time. What about Brett? Brett coming back to be in Natty's corner. I mean, the women's, and I think that's great, bringing back the women. They're not just divas anymore. But I love Eva Marie. But I don't care what anybody says. I mean, she's hot as anything. I'd pump that onion. But, I mean, I like the women's thing, and I like Charlotte. I think Charlotte's hot, and I think she's a great wrestler. And hey, she's the Nature Boys pop of Nature Boys pop. She's a Nature Boys, little girl. So I like her. And the women's, they stole the show at WrestleMania. They've been stealing the show all the time. But can't wait till Seth comes back. I don't know how long they're gonna have Roman with the title. But this is my weekly. This is my day after report for Raw. I'm gonna be doing another show during the week with some good history stuff and breaking down a lot of shit. You know what I mean? That I've seen from kayfabe commentaries, the timelines, and all that's the kind of stuff I love. Back in the day, stuff when the heels were heels and the faces were faces, and it's not just the Attitude Era. Everybody always thinks, oh, wrestling was always the Attitude Era. No, it wasn't. Wrestling was great back in 1983 or 84 when Greg Valentine and Roddy Piper, one of the most vicious matches ever, beat each other to living shit, to living grinding meat with friggin' that chain and that dog collar match at Starrcade. So, wrestling was always great. When Snuka flew off the cage on Morocco at the Garden. You know what I mean? I was a little kid back then, but wrestling was great. And the Hogan era. Even though I'm a macho man, the Ultimate Warrior, but that was the greatest. That was, in my opinion, still, and I know a lot of my buddies out there agree with me. That was the greatest era ever. Ever. That's when Flair and the Horsemen and the NWA, just great. Great stuff. And I'll be reviewing that and everything, pay-per-views, all of it. But gotta give my, for the current product, I gotta give what I think, and I think I should be booking it. But they have stooges booking it. Why don't they got guys like Brett? Why don't they have guys like Kevin Nash? Kevin Nash wasn't the biggest drawing WWE champion of all time, but or X-Pac. They got Scott Hall going to GFW, so it says. They should have him. He's great. He came up with the Sting Crow idea. You know what I mean? He's a founding father of the NWO. You know what I mean? It's just the people they have running it. It just don't make. They're all yes, Vinny. They just have Heyman in there as an agent. Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter, I think, is, but have him more. It's a whole bunch of stuff from the top to the bottom. They're a family WWE, but they need to come together and get this shit together for real. And they got to know what they're doing because the current product sucks. It's crap. This is Joey G. Everybody have a nice night. Flyers look like they're out of it. They're down 3-0, so I don't know. It's whatever. I hope the Spurs win the NBA championship. But Golden State's great. But if anybody can beat Golden State, it's San Antonio. I'll be back later this week doing some history stuff. And going to be doing some of the best factions of all time. Got some great stuff to show, too. You know what I mean? It's going to be good. Some great factions of all time. Greatest feuds of all time. Everything. You know what I mean? But this is Joey G, and the hotline number's coming. I'll get back at you. Okay? Everybody have a nice night, and peace. Impact's on tonight. Wow. I don't even watch that. I watch the network. Go on the network. If you don't have the network, get it, because it's worth it. Everything is on the network. This is Joey G. I'm out. Peace.